What's up, my good people? It's your girl Nikki P, and this is Soul Untamed. This is my motivational video. I am going to start doing a series of videos on Monday, specifically for Monday motivation. I was originally doing these as shorts, but I actually think that it might benefit to have a little bit of a longer video because we all need some motivation, right? Because let's be real, we not always feeling motivated to do the things that we do. Um, Today, because we're in October, we are definitely into the fall season. I just came back from California where even though the weather is different out there, even they are like finally hitting this like fall weather season. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about, or talk to rather, to my people who struggle this time of year. I am one of those people. I think that for me, I don't know, I guess it is a form of seasonal depression. It's not necessarily the darkness and the cold that affect me, but for me personally, it's the actual season because the closer, like, I tend to judge my life off of my, like, around my trip around the sun. So as I get closer to that day, I tend to, start being more prone to being depressed and having more trouble staying motivated, and it happens to fall in line with when everybody else is dealing with the seasonal effect disorder, however you say it. Sad, I basically think that is called. So I just wanted to just tell you some things that I do to try to get ahead of it, because I know that I am prone to start feeling, just less energy, less like, gung ho about what's to come and staying, into my goals like I need to. There are just certain things that I do to just kind of curb that. One of the things is, I say this all the time, to first remember to give yourself grace. Do not beat yourself up because you're not feeling it a certain day. Understand that we are human, and having emotions is just part of being human. And I had to learn that myself, because there were many times where I'm just like, why can't I feel, more of this? Why am I upset? Why am I angry? Why can't I make this feeling like go away? You feel how you feel, darling, like you do. So I will first say, give yourself grace. Second, I will say to try to outline some things that bring you joy. And these are the things, this list that you make, these are the things that I need you to tap into when you feel yourself getting that way. And yeah, so like for example, for me, working out and making sure that I am doing fitness things, that's something that helps me stay a little bit more upbeat, because even if I don't feel like it, even if I'm dragging myself to the gym, I'm dragging myself to classes, it's still, once I'm done, like that extra hit of, dopamine, I think it is, that kind of gets me up, at least in a better mood, albeit maybe temporarily, to go and do the things that I said that I was going to do. So make sure that you are doing something that brings you joy. Journal. Or if you're like me and don't like to write, do videos. Do videos. Like whatever it is that you're feeling, I need you to acknowledge what you're feeling. And I need you to, whether you write it out, whether you call somebody, whether you discuss it with your therapist, whether you sit and look at record yourself talking about it, doing a video diary. I just need you to acknowledge it, get it out. Don't let it sit and just sit there. I think the best thing that you can do for when you are having a hard time, whether you want to label it as depression or whether you want to label it as something else, anytime that you're having a hard time, I think it is very important to move that. Emotion is energy. And so if it sits, if you just sit there, it's going to just be stagnant. It's going to grow and it's going to fester and it's going to just sit in there. But if you get up, if you move, if you talk about it, talking, all of that stuff helps to release it. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're not just sitting in it. And yeah, find the things that give you joy. Also find the things that people recommend are helpful for releasing those things. Take a walk. Walking is very good. For one, you're moving, and two, it allows you to be reflective. And even if you're being reflective leads to you crying, you're walking with tears streaming down your face, that is still helpful for you in this season. And then, as an encouraging point, understand that it's a season, and understand that it's something that does come to an end. All seasons come to an end. They may feel long when you're in it. You know, we want to talk about physical seasons for a second. People who really don't like the cold, fall, like not this part of fall, because we're still getting like, you know, upper 70, lower 80-degree weather. But fall, like you in November and December, about to go into winter, and then we have 3 months of winter. Those months feel like the longest months to people who are like, who really struggle this time of year, but it always comes to an end. So stay encouraged in knowing that. And be realistic. When you set goals for this season, be realistic in the goals that you set. If you know that your energy is lower this time of year, rather than try to force yourself to, you know, get yourself together and be, you know, stay motivated, you know, pep yourself up. That's, you know, if you know that you're not going to do well this part of the year, don't give yourself lofty goals. Like, really try to work with your energy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not advocating for like being a complete slave to your energy, a slave to your emotion. And if your emotion takes you on this wild roller coaster ride, that you have to swing and go with it. But I'm saying that it is beneficial for you to really understand the natural rise and fall of when your energy is at its highest versus when it's at its lowest. And it's not going to be beneficial. It's not, you're not going to really be successful in really trying to force your body or force your energy to be at a higher level than it actually is. So if you know that this time of year, this is, you're just going to be low from like October or November through March, your energy is low, do not do your biggest creative projects this time of year. You know, do not do any of your really heavy business items this time of year. Like, this is the time of year to, you know, to just kind of slow down. Like, all the stuff, the other seasons in the year, for you people who love the spring, and especially people who love the summer, this is your go time. Like, go hard, like all them months. Go hard for like 6 months to set it up so that when it gets to this part of the year, and you're in this like lull and you don't feel like doing anything, all the seeds that you planted in the previous seasons are now working for you in this season, so that you can relax, so that you can give grace to yourself, so that if you want to be wrapped up in your house because you don't feel like going out and you just want to sit in your chair with your cup of tea and your candle going, and you just want to be wrapped up in a robe and wrapped up in a blanket, and all you want to do is stream whatever your favorite streaming platform is, you can do that because you've already set it up for that. So all of this to say that just be prepared for the season that you're getting ready to come into. Now, for those of you who don't have issues with any of what I'm talking about, that you're fine, or you tend to stay, you know, pretty balanced all year long, then I still think the information is valuable. Like, to just know who you are, to understand how your energy flows, and to do things to support that natural ebb and flow that you have, as opposed to trying to force yourself to operate in a space that you just don't do well in. I promise you that you will just do better if you kind of just go with the flow of who you are. So, all that to say, happy Monday. Stay, just do what you need to do this week. This is just your motivational tidbit. And know that it is okay for you to not feel motivated all the time, because you're not going to feel motivated all the time. But it's important for you to know where you are and to just do the things that you need to do to support that space of where you are. So, that is it for today. Again, happy Monday. I hope that you all have a great, prosperous, blessed week, and I will see you on the next one.